Hello, and this is another episode of Zorfert Screw Stuff Up. Not really. So today we're going to be putting the transmission belt back on the John Deere L130 riding lawnmower, and all we have to do is the belt, the two idlers, and then put everything back underneath. Now, when working on this job, there is a fair amount of stuff that has to be done here. So let's look at our little note sheet about what we have to do. So starting off where we first started was the rear pulley, and there's a belt keeper with 3 tabs on it, or 3 ears that basically keep the belt on that rear pulley. And we can see there's a large bolt holding the belt keeper in. It's a 10 millimeter. And what's our little note there say? Tabs and slot on the right side. So when we look at our belt keeper over here, we see there is a bolt hole there with the wear pattern of a washer, as we can see. Then coming over to the right side of it, we can see how one tab is 90-degree bent and the other is a step bend. So basically when we go and put this back on the tractor, we'll start on the back side and then we'll lower it in. All right. Then going to our next step, we have remove battery. That is a safety precaution because when we removed the PTO clutch off of it, we did use an impact wrench to pull the bolt off, while using an adjustable wrench to hold that spacer on. And so when we can see our clutch is a 16 millimeter bolt, I used an impact. If you don't have one, I mean, you can use a wrench or a box end wrench or a socket wrench, or whatever you have to get to it. And then we have the anti-rotation bracket on the driver's side. So when we look at that piece of an item, it should be down there. We can see it's off. We can see it right there on the ground. And then coming back to this, we have notes on the driver's side. It's a bracket that holds that clutch pulley in, basically keeps that clutch pulley from freewheeling. It's a 10 millimeter bolt that is on the frame of the tractor on the driver's side, right about there, and we'll have another picture there. Then we have the steering shaft. Now, this is something I screwed up, and so maybe if you watch this, you won't screw it up. As soon as I had the bolt loose that held this on, so these are the two items that hold it on. We have the nut, and then we have our keyed item, as we can see those keys in there. Now, when we flip it over, we notice the keys are not on there, so this is bottom. And then this is top. So as soon as I broke that nut free, I made the mistake of grabbing my steering wheel as firmly as I could and jerking up on it as hard as I could, not knowing that it did not need that, and I pulled it up way too far like that. So with that being said, it is a good idea to remove the battery, because if you remove the battery out of the engine compartment of this little lawn tractor, you can see the steering shaft down there. So if you were a dum-dum like me and did the same thing I did, remember to open up the hood, remove the battery, and then you can put it back in. So then coming down to our last step is going to be the idlers. Now the large pulley goes on in front of the tractor, and the small pulley goes on the bottom side of the tractor, or the right side. So when we get closer to that, I'll have another video about going over that. But right now we're going to get into it and get going on it, and then when I'm finished with this, we'll do another video. So till then, bye-bye.